What's up, everyone? This is Josh from East West Healing. Today I want to talk about osteoporosis and calcium. Is calcium really the answer? We will find out. But before we get started, as always, please like this video, show us a little support. And please hit that notification button and subscription button so every single Wednesday when we put out a video, you get notified. Let's jump in. All right, what is osteoporosis? That is what this video is about. In a simple sense, of course, this is YouTube. This is not an anatomy physiology book, and this is not a personalized treatment plan, right? It's just to give you that different school of thought to help maybe change the trajectory of where you're going, right? Because when you think osteoporosis, the go-to is calcium. And let's just think about it. If calcium was the answer, would there still be 10 million people in the United States, mostly women, with osteoporosis? No, right? And when you get osteoporosis, doctors are like, take calcium, increase your calcium, you need calcium supplement. When you get older, increases calcium supplement. And everyone still got osteoporosis. If calcium was the answer, the amount of people with osteoporosis in the world would be zero. So it's not. You've been lied to. And you've been lied to that your bones are just calcium, and they're not. They're 12 minerals: potassium, iron, boron, and selenium, and zinc, and so forth, right? So we're just told it's just calcium, but we're not told there's actually 11 other minerals, right? So what is osteoporosis? Well, you have osteoblasts and osteoclasts. Osteoblasts essentially work on bone formation. Osteoclasts work on bone reabsorption. And anytime you have an uncoupling between them, you have a net bone loss, you have osteoporosis. So it really comes down to when osteoclasts, right, that bone reabsorption exceeds the bone formation by osteoblasts, that is when you have a net bone loss and osteoporosis. But the question is, what creates that? It's not a lack of calcium, right? You could say it's a loss of minerals for sure. And I would say that calcium is definitely not first on the list, right? Because on the other end, when you take too much calcium, what happens? Calcification. You turn into a mummy. You get calcified. Your cells pull in too much calcium. They don't get enough potassium. They get too much sodium. They get too much water. We get inflammation, rigidity, stiffness, right? So we don't want too much calcium. So we could say osteoporosis is, yes, a net bone loss, but why? Well, the catalyst, when you really dig in, you research it, is chronic stress. Why? Because chronic stress does a few things. And this is a simplified version. Number one is you're going to have a net mineral loss of potassium, of sodium, of magnesium, of all these things that you need to help with the coupling between osteoblasts and osteoclasts. You don't have that uncoupling. So you have that teamwork between bone formation and bone reabsorption, right? Secondly, chronic stress in itself demineralizes bone. So if we're constantly living beyond our means, right? If we're not meeting our demands that are being placed in our system with the right types and amount of foods to make sure we have the energy that we need. If we're go, doing, we're always working out, we're, losing minerals. If we don't eat enough, if we're fasting, if we don't eat enough of a variety of mineral-rich foods, which most people don't, right? You are going to have chronic stress. That chronic stress, those hormones that are being produced when it's chronic, demineralize bone. The key word mineral, which goes back to the first one, mineral loss, right? So we have mineral loss can be the cause of osteoporosis. And number two, the mineral loss can be the cause of osteoporosis from stress. Three, certain drugs like certain diuretics, certain type 2 diabetes medications, cortisone injections, certain thyroid medications, except proton pump inhibitors. A lot of medications will actually not only demineralize bone, but also chelate minerals from the body and affect that coupling and cause an uncoupling between osteoblasts and osteoclasts, right? So we're not eating the right types of food. We're not maybe eating enough food. We're doing too much. We're chronically stressed. We're chelating minerals. We're taking medications that actually works against us. At the same time, we're probably taking some supplements that work in this mix that work against us, right? So it's really that chronic stress and that mineral loss that leads to that uncoupling that causes a net bone loss that leads to osteoporosis. So think about it. When you have osteoporosis, the goal is just take calcium? No. The goal is to say, how am I living or not living to support my needs? How am I, or what am I not eating to support myself differently? Because what do people do? You go to the doctor, they say, you're older, you might get osteoporosis, or you have osteoporosis. Here, take this medication or take a calcium supplement. But if A plus B plus C plus D got you here, and all you've done is take a medication, how have you fixed that uncoupling? You have not fixed it. So what you need to start doing is maybe living a little bit differently. Maybe slowing down. Maybe moving a little more. Maybe you're that person that needs to move a little more and not sit in your butt all day. Maybe you need to start eating more mineral-rich foods like whitefish, fatty fish, shellfish, organ meats, bone broth, different muscle meats. Eat more fruits, roots, and squashes versus processed foods, right? We live in a sodium-dominant, processed food, carb-driven society, right? We need to eat more of these metabolic foods to bring these minerals and nutrients into our body. So as we're de-stressing the system, when we're meeting our needs, we're bringing in enough energy to meet our needs and the demands being placed in our system, and we're replenishing those mineral tanks to support that coupling between osteoblasts and osteoclasts. So hopefully this makes a little sense. There's more videos to come. Hopefully this gives you just a thought in the sense of, oh my God, I do have osteoporosis and I'm just taking calcium. And this makes a lot of sense. Maybe I need to do things a little bit differently to support myself different, because the only way you can create a shift, the only way you can create change is to create change. As always, thanks for tuning in. I'm out.